Hi there, it's Jason Stone again, and we're approaching the next big decision concerning your injury case. After negotiating on your behalf, we have finally gotten to the point where the insurance company has made what it claims to be its final offer. We know how this process usually works, and we need you to understand the pros and cons associated with accepting the offer now versus filing a lawsuit and seeing what increased offers we can secure in the future. If you settle your case now, this is the end. It's guaranteed. We'll send a settlement release to you for your signature with a breakdown of exactly how much money you can expect to receive in your pocket. In most circumstances, you'll have a check in your hands within 4 to 6 weeks. In exchange for accepting the settlement money, you'll never be able to get any more money from this defendant for anything. It's final. Another thing to take into account when deciding to settle or not is that while there may be more money at some point in the future, it's impossible for us to know how much more, and when, and if it'll be offered. Our experience has shown that before we can expect the offer to increase significantly, it's likely that you and the other side will need to be deposed. Depositions happen in a conference room and involve each party, accompanied by their own attorney, answering questions under oath asked by the other side's attorney in the presence of a court reporter. Even though depositions usually begin between 4 to 6 months after we file a lawsuit, an increased settlement offer can be extended at any time. In order to determine if you want to settle, you need to consider whether the settlement offer includes everything that it should. Are all of your medical bills being included? Are they accepting 100% of the blame for causing the incident and your injuries? Did they take into account the full extent of the effects of your time out of work, away from your usual activities, and living in pain? Do they believe all of the evidence we have presented? You also have to take into consideration your own personal situation. Is it better for you to end this chapter of your life, avoid the time and stress of litigation, and move on with guaranteed money in your pocket? If you have looming financial obligations, or you prefer to remove the risk and accept the guaranteed money without additional stress, it may be time to close this chapter and move on. It's reasonable to wonder if the extra expense associated with litigation is going to result in more money in your pocket. For example, in some situations, it makes sense for us to invest $1,000 in case expenses, because the expectation is that the evidence will make the offer increase by at least $3,000. If spending that $1,000 will only raise the offer by $500, it's not such a good investment. Sometimes the cost to file and serve the complaint, buy deposition transcripts, and hire experts doesn't translate into an increase in your bottom line. We need to consider if the juice is worth the squeeze. But most importantly, it's time to settle if you are satisfied with the amount of money you're ending up with in your pocket. You hired us to make sure you're not taken advantage of by the insurance company. If you feel like you have been, then you shouldn't settle. But if you feel like it's fair compensation for everything you've experienced, not that you go back in time and do it again, but if you think, given everything you've experienced, that this makes you whole, then you should accept their final offer. As you know, we get a percentage of the money that we get for you. We share the motivation of getting you as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, without taking any unnecessary risks where we could lose it. If we think there's more money out there, we'll tell you. And if we recommend the settlement, we'll tell you that too. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours, and we're happy to proceed in a way that makes sense for you and your family. Please call your attorney to discuss this important decision.